Hello, this is Rupesh Reddy from Government Engineering College, Hassan. Today, I'm taking the first session of the fifth module, Digital Signal Processor, of the subject Digital Signal Processing, prescribed for fifth semester Electronics and Communication students. In this session, I'll be discussing about the introduction to digital signal processor architecture. Then I compare the general purpose microprocessor with our digital signal processor. And I'll be considering digital signal processor hardware units. And to check the understandability of this session, I'll be considering some of the multiple choice questions. Let us begin with to introduction to our digital signal processor architecture. Uh, Compared to general purpose microprocessor and microcontrollers, the digital signal processors have special features that require operations such as fast Fourier transforms, filtering, convolution, correlation kinds of operation, and real-time sample-based and block-based processing. Therefore, our digital signal processors use a different dedicated hardware architecture. First, let us compare the architecture of the general purpose microprocessor along with our digital signal processor. So, first, if we consider the general purpose microprocessor, which is based on von Neumann architecture. This shows the von Neumann architecture, which is developed by uh, scientist called John von Neumann with others in 1946. Von Neumann suggested the computer instruction as well, um, uh, the, the architecture be numerical codes instead of special wiring. You can see here our von Neumann processor contains a single and shared memory for both program as well as data, and a single bus for memory access as well as arithmetic unit, a program controller unit. The processor proceeds in a serial fashion here in terms of fetching as well as execution cycles. That means the central processing unit fetches the instruction from the memory and decodes it to figure out what operation has to be performed, and then it executes that particular instruction. So the instruction or which is in machine code has two parts. One is opcode and operand. The opcode specifies what operation has to be performed. That is, which tells the CPU what to do. The operand informs the central processing unit what data to operate on. This instruction will modify memory or input output. Once an instruction is completed, the cycle will resume for the next instruction. An instruction or piece of data can be retrieved at a time because the processor proceeds in a serial fashion. So it causes most units to stay in a wait state because it has to happen one by one. As we check here, the von Neumann architecture operates the cycles of fetching and execution by fetching an instruction from the memory, decoding it through the program control unit, and finally executing the instruction. When execution requires data movement, that is, data to be read from the memory or data to be written into the memory, the next instruction will be fetched after the current instruction is completed. The von Neumann based processor has this drawback because it uses a single shared memory for both program instructions as well as data. So if we increase the speed of the bus memory and computation units, that improves the speed, but not significantly. So if we want to accelerate the execution speed of a digital signal processing, our digital signal processor has to have a different architecture compared to this von Neumann architecture. So our digital signal processors are based on Harvard architecture, which is originated from Mark I relay-based computers, which is built by IBM in 1944 at Harvard University. This computer stored its instruction on punch tape and data using relay latches. As you can see here in this architecture, this is Harvard architecture, which has two separate memories. You can observe here. One is dedicated for program and this is dedicated for data. So to accommodate two memory spaces, two corresponding address buses, you can see here, and two data buses. Here 1, 2. Okay, program memory data bus here. So these two buses are separate, are used. So in this way, the program memory as well as data memory have their own connection to the program memory bus and data memory bus. This means this Harvard processor can fetch the program instruction and data parallelly at the same time. But if we consider the von Neumann architecture, program memory bus and the data memory bus are having the common bus. So here there is an additional unit you can observe here, which is multiplier and accumulator. So this is called MAC unit, which is this is a dedicated hardware which is used for digital filtering operation. As you are considering, if you consider a linear time invariant system, if you give any input, output will be convolved form of input along with the system impulse response. So that filtered output is representing a convolved output, which is nothing but sum of product kind of operation. So in many, or we can say most of our DSP or signal processing operation involves some kind of multiply and accumulation kind of operation. If we want to implement such operations using our general purpose microprocessor, we have to have lots of lines of codes there just to implement one MAC operation. But in our digital signal processor, which is having a dedicated architecture which can perform multiplier and accumulator operation using a separate hardware block. See, the last additional unit is shift unit. You can observe here. This is used for scaling operation for fixed point implementation when the processor performs digital filters. If we consider to implement a shift operation in our general purpose processor, if you want to have a 2-bit shift to the right, then what you have to do it is you have to shift 2 times. That means you have to write the program such that it has to execute 2 times and it should consider whether to right shift or left shift. So minimum 3 lines of code is required there. But here this shift unit, separate or dedicated unit, which is shift unit, considers multi-bit shift at a single cycle. And it again takes the input to shift the data either to left or the right. So our Harvard architecture has 2 separate memory spaces dedicated to program code and data, and it has corresponding address buses as well as data buses for accessing the memory spaces. So, as having all this separate or dedicated architecture, our Harvard processor offers fetching and execution cycles in parallel. So if we compare the general microprocessors and digital signal processor, then observe here our general purpose microprocessor is based on von Neumann architecture, but our digital signal processors based on Harvard architecture. In von Neumann architecture, we can observe here as there is a shared memory or common memory for program as well as data. Here, in a single cycle, it cannot do many tasks. One at a time it can perform. So in one cycle, it fetches the data. In the next cycle, it will execute that particular operation to be performed. Next only, it has to fetch the values or data or program from the memory, as it has shared memory as well as shared bus. So here it is serial kind of operation, series operation. But if you come for this Harvard architecture, execution cycles based on Harvard architecture, which is having in our digital signal processor, we can observe here in first cycle it fetches the value operation to be performed from the program memory, and in the next cycle it executes at the same time it fetches the next data or next instruction to be executed. Okay, and then after executing the current instruction it executes the next instruction which is in queue, so which is parallel, hence it improves the speed of operation. Hence we can observe this. So we call this particular parallel operation as pipelining operation. Our digital signal processor performs one execution cycle while also fetching the next instruction to be executed. Hence, the processing speed is dramatically increased. The Harvard architecture is preferred for all digital signal processors due to the requirement of most DSP algorithms such as filtering, convolution, and FFT, which need repetitive arithmetic operations, including multiplications, additions, memory access, and heavy data flow through the central processing unit. For other applications like those which depend on simple microcontrollers with less of timing requirement, the von Neumann architecture may be a better choice as it offers much less silica area and obviously it is less expensive. Now, let us consider instruction set of DSP device should include arithmetic operations such as add, subtract, multiply, etc. Also, logical operations like AND, logic or not, XOR, XNOR like that. And should do multiply and accumulate operation. And it should have the instruction set that supports our signal scaling operation. Along with these instruction, uh, it has to have on-chip registers for storing immediate result, on-chip memories to store signal samples, and on-chip memories to store filter coefficient. We can observe here, see all this on-chip registers, on-chip memories. This is permanent memory for ROM is permanent memory for storing filter coefficients because this will not going to get altered in the real time. But see, these are RAM, that's random access memory changes as the incoming signals to see. These are the memories which is available on the architecture, in the architecture itself, hence making the process or the function in the faster way. Okay, so now let us consider digital signal processor hardware unit. So it is mainly consisting of multiplier and accumulator unit, shifters, and address generation unit. So with this, let us conclude the first session of the fifth module For checking the understandability of this particular session, let's have a few multiple choice questions from the topic we have discussed yet. So first question here, the digital signal processors are designed based on, let's have the choices, opcode, Harvard architecture, operand, or accumulator. Yes, the digital processors are designed based on the Harvard architecture, which supports separate memories for storing data as well as program. So let's have the next question. Mark I relay-based computers built by IBM in the year where, which is the answer? Is it 1996 at Stanford University, or 1994 at Harvard University, or 1994 at Princeton University, or 1994 at Stanford University? What's the answer? It is option B, 1994 at Harvard University. Let's have next question. The von Neumann architecture may be a better choice for those dependent on simple microcontroller with less of a timing requirement because of, the options are like this: more silica and less expensive, less silica and less expensive. Is it because of more silica and more expensive, or are none of the above options? Yes, as we discussed, our digital signal processor based on Harvard architecture, which has separate memories for storing data and program. Also, it has many dedicated hardware blocks like MAC unit, shifter unit, like that. Obviously, which is having more, which requires more space. Obviously, it requires complexity in its structure. But we are discussing in this particular example the von Neumann architecture. It will be better choice. In what context we are telling it has better choice? Yes, is the answer? The answer is it has more silica and which is less expensive. So with this, we can conclude the session. We can refer to, you people can refer to these textbooks by Digital Signal Processing, Fundamentals and Application by Lee Tan and Jean Jiang, and the textbook Digital Signal Processing Implementation written by Avtar Singh and Srinivasan. Thank you.